Hi guys, this is Mike and this will be a review of three source audio modulation pedals, the Lunar Phaser, the Mercury Flanger and the Gemini Chorus, which we have here. You may wonder how I am going to do a review of three pedals when I have only one of them here. Well, that's actually pretty easy, because you can download all the sound engines of the other two pedals and save them on here. It's just as source audio claims. If you buy one of these pedals, you basically buy all three. Which is all nice and well, but we do have a couple of issues here. So let's talk about them after this.
With two eyes.
Guys, as mentioned, my name is Mike. I make reviews and shootouts of guitar gear, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. And I hope you will find this video useful enough to consider subscribing. Okay, so let me start with a small story. I was looking for a modulation effect which had both stereo outputs and inputs, because I wanted to put it behind my Boss analog stereo delay. And so I researched and found the Lunar Phaser. I fell in love with the color immediately, because I'm a sucker for all things blue or teal, and also it was cheaper in my favorite music store than the Mercury or the Gemini. Also, I'm a really big fan of Source Audio's Nemesis delay, and I thought I could do no wrong with another Source Audio pedal. And so I ordered it and got it like 3 weeks ago, and I even downloaded a couple of chorus and flanger sounds. And let me tell you this. I find it very easy and intuitive to work on the app, to download engines, to tweak all the controls, to save sounds on the device, and so on and so on. But after a couple of days I realized I was missing one feature on the Lunar pedal itself that made my life hard, especially on the chorus and flanger sounds, and that was the mix or level control, or rather the lack thereof. You know, it's one thing to have it on the app and turn the mix level up or down, but to not have it on the pedal itself is really kind of a pain in the butt. And unfortunately, they don't allow you to program the knobs to the function you want them to be, like they do on the Source Audio Ultra Wave, for example, which could have remedied that. You know, like the resonance knob, I would have totally programmed that to be the mix knob, but no chance. Anyways, I did find the sounds on the Lunar Phaser to be good, but I was really missing that mix control, and so I returned it. But then, by pure coincidence, I saw that the chorus pedal from the same line, the Gemini, actually does have a mix control, and I was over the moon, and I immediately ordered it, and yeah, here we are now. So this pedal has the most important knobs on the device itself, right? You don't have to use the app to control tone, speed, depth and mix. But unfortunately, we do have another issue here that is really just stupid and goes on my nerves. Right, so listen to this. The mix control is all the way down, right? So we should hear no chorus effect whatsoever. This is the clean sound. Let me engage this thing. And now listen what happens when I set the tone to something else than 12 o'clock. Right? So that basically means that the tone control not only affects the chorus effect, but also your clean guitar. I hate when they do that. Having said that, let's actually go through a couple of sounds and let's compare them to the real thing. Okay, so let's actually start with a chorus sound. Here we go. Okay, next up will be flanger sounds. I programmed 3 different flangers on this mini toggle switch here. Just know that they are going from pretty mild to more extreme as we go from left to right. Okay, so here we go. And the last thing to check out are, of course, the phaser sounds. The analog phaser is the MXR Phase 95. And on the Gemini Chorus, I'm starting with a mono phaser, a 4-stage phaser, and we're getting more extreme in the middle and the right position. Okay, so this is clean sound. This is now a vibe setting, so let's see what we can do here. Okay, so this concludes our sound comparison. In my opinion, there are a lot of capable, very nice sounding sounds possible on the Gemini Chorus. I think, liked the flanger sounds and parts of the chorus sounds. I'm having trouble to program the phaser sounds just as nice. But yeah, all in all, pretty usable and a lot of sounds in one small box. So guys, all in all, I feel there are a lot of useful sounds on these source audio modulation devices, and I do like a lot on these pedals. You know, for one, the build quality is very good. I like that you can download up to a dozen different sound engines. I find the pedals are actually pretty affordable when you consider you get 3 pedals in one. Tweaking on the app is pretty straightforward and self-explanatory. The stereo image of the pedals that come before these ones is 100% preserved. For me, that's important. The output of these pedals is real white stereo and not some fake stereo like some other brands do. And I also like that we do have some very useful sounds here. And here are now the things that I don't like. I don't like that you can only save up to 3 engines or presets on the device itself. I don't like that the tone knob affects both the modulation and your clean guitar. I don't like that this pedal hasn't got an analog drive-through but changes your sound into a digital signal. And on some engines actually steals treble from your guitar. And last, I feel a lot of these sounds are kinda fake sounding or too much almost like a special effect. I personally have the feeling that the sounds on here are pretty in your face, and even when you set the mix to only like 10 or 15% or so, never sound as natural as on some competitive pedals. Having said that, that would be totally fine if you just use chorus, phaser or flanger sounds in selected song areas. But if, like on some of my songs, chorus is an integral part of your guitar sound, I feel there are actually better options out there, right? So too long, don't read. Basically, in my opinion, great idea, great execution with some caveats, but simply not for me. But as always, your mileage may vary. And so guys, that was it. That was my honest review of the source audio modulation pedals as I see them. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like and the subscribe button. And definitely stay tuned, because next time we are comparing this source audio pedal to another stereo multi-effects pedal, the TC Electronic, the Dreamscape. Very curious how these two compare. Until then, have a good one. See you next time. Bye.
With 2 eyes.